Hello my friends! Is this or that computer good for music? Good enough? For music means this or that computer is, I think, fast enough to manage all plugins, all sample libraries, all operations, which nowadays require quite a huge amount of CPU and RAM, isn't it? Would Mac Studio make your life easier? Would you have a smooth workflow when composing music with Mac Studio? Ultimately, main question would be, is Mac Studio fast enough to compose music? Today I want to try to briefly answer to this question by showing you a recent project I've made in Logic. So we are speaking about speed, right? So first thing first I want to do is to load up my Logic project and let you have a look at the CPU level inside Meadow as soon as it starts. Because you know, when you load up a project with tons of MIDI instruments, software instruments, sample libraries and plugins, you would expect the CPU level usually drastically jumping up, suddenly jumping up at the beginning when Logic is finishing its loading process, right? Well, at least that's the exact scenario I was used to in Intel Mac. If you watch my recent video when I show you how I switched to a 2010 Mac Pro to a 2022 Mac Studio, you would know how I was used to these very long loading times. So we are now loading up this project, which has almost more of 100 MIDI tracks, sample libraries, software instruments, and tons of plugins. And look at the CPU level as soon as this project will be loaded up. Just a while. Look at that. It's barely moving from the 0 level. That's really amazing. At least for what I was used to. We have 109 MIDI tracks here, and the CPU level is stuck, as you know, here at 0 level. And second, you have to understand that inside this project we have almost 100 MIDI tracks, each one of them having its own single software instrument instance loaded up. So just to make it clear, we have now in this project almost 100 instances of Contact. Generally, I would have used, a totally different template with way less instances of Contact loaded up in a so-called multi-timbral setting. But I've done this because I'm a bad guy and I wanted to stress Mac Studio. Third point, inside Contact, I didn't make the so-called purge operation at all. You know, telling Contacts to load up just the sounds and just the notes I really played in my keyboard, and not loading up the whole amount of all the notes contained and sample contained in the sample library, right? You know, having a multi-timbral template and performing that purge operation would drastically improve your workflow and make your computer definitely faster. But in this case, I wanted just to test Mac Studio, and I feel the test has delivered pretty good results, you know. So just to let you know, Mac Studio would let you play back your Logic project with no problem at all, even if you have 100 instances of Contact, even if you don't purge your Contact instances, even if you're loading up an average of 3-4 audio plugins and 2 bus sends for each track. So even with these settings inside your project, your workflow will be really smooth, and your requests to your Mac Studio would be by no means really far away from reaching out a critical point or I mean asking too much to your machine. So hopefully guys learned something here today, and if you did, be sure to drop a like. If you're new here, consider subscribing and let me know in the comments here down below your thoughts. I'll see you next time. Take care.